Alrighty, good tidings, friends, and welcome to our next episode of our Kingdom Hearts 2 stream. But as Ben continues to create horrible monstrosities in his gummy ship editor.
No, something ain't right.
Yeah, you have that purple L and the other purple L are the ones that are the wrong colors. Those should be blue L's. All of your L's are switched up. Not all of them, just those two. Just several of them.
We're wasting time now.
Anyway, as Ven continues to commit atrocities onto the gummy ship town. But we're here again today as
trying to fix it.
Xehanort and Ericus, because Kingdom Hearts Dark Road had its name officially announced. That was just a whole lot of stuff suddenly. I'm a little disappointed that more information about it didn't get dropped like it was implied. They were talking about other announcements, but that wound up for those who are unaware. What they were referring to, and they said that there were a lot of other announcements that night were referring to Final Fantasy related announcements and other Square Enix projects. So we got the name. We didn't even get the logo, which I need for the panel. But
well, that'll drop on like the 15th.
Oh, it will. Oh, you're right. Well, because they said more information coming mid-February, and I already am expecting, like, literally, because our panel is on Friday, on the 14th. By the way, go to KatuCon, hit us up. We'll be doing our.
This year you'll be doing.
Oh, that's true. This year I'll be doing. It's gonna be me and our resident Shion and Roxas. Although our resident Shion Sojourn, as many of you know, will be representing the Moogle economy.
You break it, you buy it.
Speaking of.
Oh, hello there, friends. Wow, you made out like a bandit. Please, I am but an honest merchant.
Oh shit.
Rats, you have one job.
Shut up.
What you see is merely the reward for my hard work.
This is Gummy Ship Crimes,
of
not
course,
Sandland.
they sure are nice. And they're on sale. Interested?
To explain Gummy Ship Crimes, that's what we were doing while we were waiting for it to turn 8 o'clock exactly.
Yeah. No thanks. Listen, have you seen a guy in a black coat? Someone from Organization 13? Who, me? Most certainly not. Okay, we'll keep asking around then. Sorry about that, guys. I just want to get this.
Sora, don't let him get away.
But yeah, anyway.
They said things are going to be announced mid-February, and since our panel is on the 14th, on Friday, I'm expecting, like, someone in the audience to stand up with, like, a phone notification in the middle being like, they just said this about this thing! Because that's where we're at. Sojourn also has a bunch of, like, stuff set, so, like, they'll also be able to, like, the second Square Enix sneezes about Dark Road, be like, we have things. Derail the entire presentation. But yeah, join us, and by us I mean the Secrets of Dorkness, because, Venti will be missing the majority.
Yeah. You guys better be careful.
But,
I'm sure Jafar wants to take over Agrabah again, but I know he's out for revenge, too. I guess he's still sore about that whole lamp thing, huh? Iago was there when Jafar was released. Okay, Iago, spill it. Hey, I told you everything I know. In Gilbert Gottfried's voice. This is your one and only chance, Iago. If I find out later that you've been lying or hiding things from us, we're through. I'll never speak to you again. I can't take it, I know where Jafar is. Where? I mean, that is on my, I really shouldn't. Iago? He's in the desert ruins. Let's get the jump on him. Lead the way. Don't ding at me, phone.
Anyway, so,
Don't ding at me. Oh, that's valid.
This year,
Hey, let's go fight Vexen. Why
no,
is Vexen in the land of, like, that's just sad.
Oh.
Because he got burned alive and now
I
he
see
has
what
to
they
live
did
here.
there. I see what they did.
That's...
Anyway, usually we do a more overall lore thing for our panels. This year we're going to be focusing on story elements from Key and how they tie into the greater franchise so that we can do the required reading for you so you don't have to sell your soul to the Mughal economy because, once again, that game is illegal in Belgium. It got to a point where even I stopped properly playing it. I keep up with the Japanese updates as they happen now for the story because there's still a lot of plot stuff, and I'll hop in occasionally just to check on things, but I don't... It's a really bad game. Like, it's not poorly... I mean, it has some design flaws, but, like, it's bad in that, like, it's literally an amoral money-grubbing pile of trash because of
the exchange rate is just way too
There's
bad.
a third-party company that Square got to handle the aspects that make it so bad. So it's not entirely Square's fault, and I'm really hoping that Dark Road will slowly replace Key as the main mobile game and not be under the thumb of that company and just not have the same skeezy setup in general. Because it is just... All gacha unit collector games can get a little bad, but this specifically, and Brave Exvius, which is also run by the same third-party company, which is actually worse than Key, are just, they're bad. They are predatory. And it's a really sad state of gaming that cell phone games, because they're not treated as legitimate or like are based around that, and it's become commonplace that they have those gacha mechanics, aren't treated as, like, it's normalized. So, like, when we started having this shit with loot boxes in mainstay games and consoles, it turned into a whole shitstorm and it got stopped, but no one's paying attention to mobile games, even though there are things like Key which tie into greater franchises, which prey on people. Because a lot of the most successful mobile games are ones that just use IP from something else to get people to spend a bunch of money on things.
How about giving me a challenge next time, Al?
But, that's... Well, we won't be spending the whole panel talking about why, the state of the gaming, the state of mobile gaming or anything like that. We'll be there talking about, all of the various, things that have happened in Key so far, how they tie in to 3, what certain things mean, and of course our usual theories and stuff. And we're gonna do our best to cover as much as we can about Dark Road with what very little information we have and what theories we can go on. I have a few suspicions already about certain things. I'm assuming it's coming out because it was slated to come out in April. It said spring. It is slated, like, it's not gonna be like they're announcing it now, it's gonna be 2 years. Like, they did actually say that there's a game coming out in spring. Technically, they have not confirmed that this is the game, but, like, I can't imagine it being another game they haven't announced yet. And that will line up with the Key anniversary, which means it'll come out around the same time Key did. I'm assuming, especially after that weird thing in the DLC with Scalad Kylum, that, and those of you who've played Remind know what I'm talking about. It's not like a big spoiler or anything. It's part of like a weird puzzle-solving Zelda-esque mini-game thing. That was my impression of it, was Nomura just going, no, guys, really, Scala and Daybreak Town have something to do with each other. I see me putting the entire Daybreak Tower under Scala was too subtle for you, so here. And, I'm guessing, like, the stories will tie into each other at that time. It might have to do with, you know, Scala turning out to be the real world, like, another like what Brain was talking about, like, well, we're not supposed to be in the data world, but apparently we are, and it, like, spitting them out there or something. I mean, we have the whole arc thing, but I'm assuming that we'll have that, especially because one of the comments Nomura made around the same time that he said, you know, was like, I really want to make a Xehanort game, but I shouldn't. Which, I guess, to be fair, he never said he wasn't going to. He just said, if I did that, the Dark Seeker Saga will go on forever, and I technically said that I was going to end that. But he also mentioned, I really should show how him and Ventus met.
And Ericus. Right.
No. No, this was a comment about just Ven and Xehanort.
Okay.
This was literally like people being like, so Xehanort knew Ven was a key kid, question mark? And his response, his only response was, I should really show how they met sometime. Ha 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 ha. Thanks, Nomura. And so I'm assuming we're going to get that, up in there. I mean, it's gonna be a Xehanort party, so.
This is it. Yeah.
So you sure are interesting controls here.
Oh, yeah, no, I hated this part. That's why the name of this episode, I don't know if it got left. Or if you changed the name.
No, I just fixed the capitalization.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was just not so Magic Carpet Ride. It's such a time. They fixed this a lot in 3. Like, this really does feel like an awkward beta for a lot of similar mechanics in 3. But,
It's all funky looking thing.
it is. By now I'm sure most of us have, who, you know, had access to Remind, have gone through it. It wasn't that long. I mean, the data battles were a pain. We'll be uploading our pre-recorded, because I went ahead and played that, not live.
Would you face the correct direction, please?
Fire's gonna be a circle around you, so you're gonna want to be in the middle of them.
I don't know these things. Fire shouldn't be like that.
I did not like how fire was in this game, I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't like that.
What? You have to time it.
Yeah, I know, we didn't like it.
There we
No.
Anyway, so, I haven't beat all the Limit Cut bosses yet, but I have, just because I wasn't entirely confident with the amount of shit I have to do before KatsuCon. I did go ahead and just watch them so I could include everything I needed to in my panel. Because I have a literal obligation to be spoiler free by then. I can't really do a lore panel if I haven't seen that. And with the timing, I couldn't afford to wait and play it myself. Although it's looking like I might actually have it beaten myself right before the con. But the main story went by fast enough. And most of it was, in my opinion, I really enjoyed it.
Don't you just love
I
when you
hate-
need to use magic
Okay. Alright.
and you can't?
Square, I want to have a real talk with you right now. The MP system that you have in this game and that you decided for some unholy reason to reuse in 3, I hate it. I actually hate it. It is not a good system. It is very annoying and it punishes people for using magic.
It really does. And by the end of the game, it doesn't affect your ability to heal at all. Like, sometimes it's faster to use a potion. And
Yeah.
like Leaf Bracer doesn't even make that much of a difference.
Well, I use magic so much more in all of the off-title games.
Yeah, like BBS was great. Why did we stray from that?
I'm sorry, I just have to read Sojourn rendition of how Ventus and Xehanort met. Baby Nort at the Moogle box in Scala. Hi, I would like one large coffee. Moogle's hand over Aventus.
I have a timed mission, but I have to delay it.
Okay. But I forget what I was saying because that was so good. Anyway,
Sorry.
oh, I like the DLC. I thought of it as,
Was that supposed to be difficult? Like,
I'm so confused as what they're doing. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it.
cause it's not like, cause I was just faster than everything. And it's not like that has anything to do with my stats.
I was bitching about the MP system.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah, no. So the MP, like, in any game where, like, any of the games that use the deck system instead, or even KH1 where you have just a normal fucking MP bar, especially in Kingdom Hearts 3, the MP regain abilities, like, I stacked the shit out of some MP haste and it still doesn't make that much of a difference. And MP, like, Haste-a-Ga and all of that shit. I felt particularly pissed off when I was going through the Remind DLC because there are parts where you have to play as Aqua, which, like, don't get me wrong, the first time I went through it I did all of the not playing as Sora because I wanted to, but I had to re-go through it after I got my shit together to go fight the Limit Gun bosses. And they...
Where is he?
Fighting as Aqua was so awkward in the system because she's designed still to spam magic, but it was so hard to keep using the magic.
Because your MP bar is constantly gone because you're healing all the time.
Not even that. Even when I wasn't healing all the time and had the MP to spare, it's just I could only cast so often. Then I'd have to go run away and cartwheel into the abyss or try to find time to use an ether. And it just... It really hampers a lot of things. It pigeonholes a very specific playstyle for any sort of casting, whereas almost every other aspect of the game has a lot, especially in 3, has a lot of like variability to suit how you want to play. But if you want to play with casting, you have to play the certain way. Whereas, like, if you want to be guard or reaction heavy, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. If you want to be offense heavy, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can, like, you know what I mean? If you want to, like, focus on, you know, attraction flow or using the command styles, it's not what they're called, it's the form changes. There's still a lot of options for you, but it feels so much more limited with casting. Like, you can smatter some in to get the Grand Magic, which is a viable and important strategy. Especially on critical mode, because that's been a fucking time. But there's been, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't just not like it because it limits cure. I don't like it because in an attempt to limit cure, they've punished the rest of the magic. I understand wanting to limit cure and limit healing. I understand wanting to put that limitation in for making the bosses feel more challenging. I feel that the deck commands did it in a much more successful way by making... I mean, it was easier to get a bunch of cures in a lot of those games, but it's still, like, you could make the cure commands naturally have an even slower recharge time. You can make them really hard to make or come by or very expensive. You can just hard limit, you can only have one of this command in this deck. If you really, really, really wanted to limit it, and that doesn't punish people for using the rest of the magic.
Get some rest, Carpet. You earned it.
Sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to go on an angry design rant about how much I specifically dislike that system. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love the games, it's not the worst thing in the world, like, it's still better design than a lot of other things I've seen in my life as a game designer, but like... Guys!
Where are we going? Goofy, where are we going?
He's not gonna help.
The carpet helped. Apparently, Sora speaks carpet because it was like, it seems to be saying, let's go back to the palace.
Okay.
So Sora speaks carpet now.
Well, it's because Carpet speaks sign language, and as we all know, Player doesn't talk in KHUX. Player speaks sign language, and Ventus has probably met Player at some point, and is in Sora's heart, so he also speaks sign language, therefore, Sora speaks sign language. I got it. That wasn't unnecessarily convoluted at all. What happened to OBS? I just minimized it, we're fine.
Okay. Don't break OBS.
I'm trying not to. I'm moving the mouse over here. Anyway, that was a very long tangent. I meant to talk about Remind. As far as Remind was concerned, I enjoyed it because I felt it did a very good job at being a successful Final Mix supplement. I know there was a lot of discourse about it for a lot of reasons because some people were afraid of... Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little salty because I saw a lot of the internet screaming, you know, how dare you give us DLC that retcons the ending, and then people right after the DLC came out being like, what do you mean that that was it and that the ending didn't change? I didn't like the ending. And it's like, pick one, guys. Pick one. I, for one, never thought it was going to retcon the ending. Got a little nervous when I saw some people complaining about under the impression that it was. I was very happy.
I'm sorry, that's just a really weird place to chain a girl up.
Just on the door to her house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, my queen,
Like,
shall weep at my side for all eternity.
like the thing holding the door closed.
Oh, please.
It's not actually bolted to anything. Technically, she could just kind of back up and lift it up out of those and then yeet it and drag it with her.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, wait.
Jafar, honey.
What was that you were saying, Jafar?
You dare defy me, you useless bird?
Ooh. Sojourn says that they have screenshots of cutscenes where Ven and Player meet each other. I'm excited for that.
Oh, fun.
Iago!
You'll all be joining him very soon.
Goodbye, dead bird. Bringing new meaning to bye-bye birdie.
Oh my god. Oh.
Hey, you're not allowed to throw buildings at us. You're not Zemnis. Who do you think you are?
Apparently Zemnis.
Evil cackling.
All shall bend to my will.
Yeah, no, he's even saying, like, submit and stuff, so he definitely thinks he's Xehanort.
Oh, okay. Jafar, that's not allowed.
Like, yeah, like, what am I supposed to be doing right now?
I don't really remember this fight that well, so good luck.
Yeah, my problem right now is there is nothing to target.
I think it's his hand. I think it's like a dark
No,
side.
I mean like, I'm trying to lock onto something.
You have to get close enough to him.
Yeah, I know. I'm up
Maybe it's
on
his
him.
head like a
There's
Ursula?
nothing to lock onto.
You like hit something, but there it is.
There it is.
Just right in the abs.
Sure, why not? Roll up. What are you
Oh,
doing?
clear. I'm sorry. That's the answer. You press triangle to win.
Okay. We'll get there. Don't paralyze me, that's rude. Hey, stop that. No. Sora. Hey, you gonna move there, buddy?
Anyway, I really enjoyed that the DLC basically, like, to me, and I mean this as a compliment, it was like footnotes.
Could
You have to go over the tail.
But it wasn't letting me because of weird,
Oh, the weird clipping that
Yeah.
plagues data greeting? Or the weird, not clipping,
yeah,
but,
the hitbox.
yeah. The bad colliders.
Yeah. Okay, run. Okay. Alright, this is fun. I'm just gonna go up and down, up and down, up and down. Down seems a little better right now. Let's go up, and let's go down. And let's go up, and, oh, okay, down was a little early. It's fine.
But,
Where is he at? There we go.
the DLC turned out to be,
Don't be Lexi, that's rude.
turned out to be very good,
Yeah, hey.
footnotes and explanations of everything. Like, it was sort of like Nomura went, okay, let's do this and see what people were confused by, and I'm just gonna explain most of the things that confuse people in much greater detail in this DLC. Especially my new favorite cutscene, which I like to call learning how to count to 13 with the organization, or not even break and keep track of all of these fucking vessels.
Oh, come on. He's got 1 HP left.
You tickle his stomach and tell you triangle. That's such an upsetting statement, Adonis.
It is. Hello, Adonis. How you doing? Why am I spinning? Why are there no stickers? Okay. Where are we at? Wait. My boy, you got 1 HP. Come here. What am I doing? I'm punching you in the face. You spin me right round, baby, right. Okay. Well, I was about to say, like, I am actively punching you in the face. Why are you taking no damage?
Because you
have
had
1
to
HP.
complete the thing.
Alright.
No. How can I be defeated again?
Oh, is he drinking?
He's drinking. Sorry, the
Good.
snake was being cute.
Street rats!
Don't mess with street rats.
Sora, you are not a street rat. You came from an aggressively suburban mother.
Oh, do you know? We've never seen her.
Her voice was suburban. His room was suburban.
Is his mom's name Karen?
This is mom's name, Karen.
Manu a manu with Jafar and you didn't invite me, Al?
Sorry, Genie. Things happen kind of fast.
And I had some new moves to show off, too.
Who's gonna fix Agrabah?
Oh, yeah! One super duper spruced up
Oh.
Agrabah coming right up. You won't even recognize the place when I'm through with it.
Just like it was, please.
But,
Really? Same old, same old. Alright.
Yeah, because otherwise, Genie, we have to animate, we have to render a whole new city. We don't have the budget for that.
no.
And voila! They Next time, let me put in a few swimming
Oh.
pools, okay?
Oh, Jeannie, you missed 2 pieces there.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it was. Like, it's only been half an hour.
Right now. Yeah, thanks, guys.
I mean, we're on the second
Hey, you
visit,
behave
and
yourself.
most
Yeah.
of those go fast.
I
It's
most
just
definitely got it. No
fuck
more
Zolden,
looking out
though.
for number one. I'm her bum.
Yeah.
I want to be a good friend like
Flip him
Jeannie,
in
but I
particular.
can't do anything to help you. What kind of a friend is that?
Oh no, it's not like that, Iago.
Oh, that's
Friends
true.
don't
That's
have to
true.
do
His mom
stuff.
is Linda.
As long as you have fun hanging out together, that's all that
Linda?
matters. So, what do you guys
Who's
do?
Linda?
Sorry, the Skedios are definitely cold by
That's
now.
not quite what I meant. Well, anyway,
Ow, my feet.
Put Chrome back up.
Where's
I
she,
can't
Iago?
see.
I hope you didn't hurt
I
yourself.
can't creep on the chat. Close Chrome.
What?
At least
I
can
didn't close Chrome. I
still
minimized
fly.
Chrome.
Well, don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, hello? Do you hear me
I want
talking about
SpaghettiOs.
this,
Can I have SpaghettiOs?
Is that my cue? Am I on? Come on, Al. Let me build a freeway or
Hashtag not
something.
sponsored by
everything's
SpaghettiOs.
fine.
Would
Go
love to
vent.
be sponsored by
Jeannie,
SpaghettiOs.
I can't hold
Please
it
send me
any
SpaghettiOs.
Oh,
It's good stuff. It's one of the healthier things I eat.
that is
Sora,
true.
Donald, Goofy, you guys are too much. If you're ever in the mood for
Oh.
some more cosmic
But,
presentation,
no, as far as the
please
DLC is
shout,
concerned, since
okay?
most of it was footnotes, a lot of it was like, sort of like, well, we already knew
Well,
that, but
you've
now it's
done it
confirmed,
again,
that's
Sora.
nice.
Don't
Or
forget
said a
what's
little bit
okay.
more
I won't.
blatantly.
And
But there
Sora,
were obviously
about that friend
a
of
couple
yours, the one
nuggets
you're
of
looking for,
ooh
you'll find it. Trust me.
the biggest of which in my opinion was Vanitas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what we got was just a couple of, okay, first off what we got was, we've talked about the Dorkness on here before. We've talked about the Dorkness in KHUX that shows up and just expositions the shit out of Molly, and we hadn't narrowed it down.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
It's Pride Lands.
Oh,
You gotta
well, I
go.
forgot that was in this game.
It's Furry Town. It's furry propaganda.
Okie dokie. But anyway, you were saying. Darkness.
Dorkness. Ah, yes, Dorkness. We had it narrowed down to either being Vanitas or Repliku, given several
Datariku.
Datariku. Sorry.
Gotta
Given
keep your
circumstances.
coups straight.
Yeah, gotta keep all them coups straight. And
There must be something
and
wrong
then
with the parts those
someone
imbeciles
introduces
brought
the
me.
white text. The white text in the Kokoro. Granted, it was in
I
Ven's
need to
Kokoro and not
find
Sora's
better
Kokoro.
assistance.
Refers
Bold of you to assume these are different.
Well, yes, that's true. Refers to itself as the Dorkness. And Sora just goes, Vanitas? Like, you see the math meme go on over his face before he's like, Vanitas? So if even Sora can connect those dots, I'm assuming the Dorkness is Vanitas. Furry propaganda, don't you mean KHUX? So like that whole thing is sort of like, does this mean Vanitas has always been the white text voice? Was Vanitas the white text voice in KH1? I have a lot of questions about that. That's exciting to me. As well as him going,
These presents must belong to Sandy Claus.
I'm
so
not
I thought I'd better
Vanitas
return
TM.
them.
Or I'm not Vanitas. I'm not, like, you and me are different, Ventus. And what I'm pretty sure that actually means is, hello, I got the memories of the divorce from KHUX. So I'm not too worried about that, because the novels are canon, and the novels make it so that statement can't really be too literal.
We need to pick up
It's
the,
just a costume. And Sally worked so
key
very
novel.
hard making
Oh, is that in English finally?
Yeah, that came out in English on December 24th.
Oh, right. Right.
Because that's how Nomura managed to get whoever's birthday he wanted to be Christmas to be Christmas. supple, man.
Wherever did you find these?
They were delicious.
In Halloween Town. You'll be needing them for Christmas, right, Sandy?
Of course. But these are just a few of the Christmas presents that were stolen.
Stolen?
Whoa.
Oh,
Why do
Sandy,
you have-
You don't think it was me?
I
Still wearing the
think they're
outfit, I
candles,
see.
I just thought
but
I'd
they
dress
really
for
look.
the occasion.
It really looks like a framed picture of
But
3 bottles
if you
of
don't
glue.
believe me, then we'll
What?
just have to find out who really did it.
What?
It does. Look at
Oh,
it.
it really does.
It looks
Well,
like a
I'll leave it
picture
to you.
of 3 bottles of glue.
Sora, Donald,
Why do you have a
Goofy,
framed
we're off.
picture of 3 bottles of glue?
As far as if Vanitas was always the White Text voice, does that mean he was assisting the light behind Xehanort's back? I don't think so, technically. Like, one might be able to, like, frankly, I don't think assisting the light, like, I don't think it has, I think it has so little to do with the key, like, that, Xehanort's version of the Keyblade War, that, like, calling it assisting the light is a misleading way of putting it. Saying that he didn't give a fuck about what what Xehanort was doing, and was doing his own thing, I could believe. Alternatively, they needed 7 Guardians of Light. You could think of it that way, and that could have been a possibility. And so by getting Sora to be strong enough to fight some bitches, that was technically in the long run helpful. But I think it has very little to do with Xehanort.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, there's probably something.
Yeah.
Ooh, limited capsule.
Vanitas' timeline is also very interesting because in learning how to count to 13 with the organization, we talk very specifically about how we got all of the vessels and when we got them from. Not where. I mean, also where for the ones who aren't time traveling. But because of what happens in Monstropolis, we know for a fact that Vanitas had to get reconstructed in some sense. I assume that this meant that he wasn't time traveled. It was just the Vanitas remnant has been around, and Xehanort eventually picked him up. But it's made clear that he is one of the people brought from the past in a replica body. And the fact that there were sort of 2 Vanitases in the same place at once supports that there was some timey-wimey bullshit. So what I believe happened specifically was they went back in time and got the Vanitas remnant while it was still stable enough to be got and brought that forward. So that Vanitas is still post what happened in BBS, because it would be really weird to have a Vanitas before he tried to forge the Keyblade in the future knowing about that stuff. Like, that'd really fuck with them. And really fuck with the point of having, you know, Vanitas around to harass Ben and Sora. But Vanitas then, as he points out, you know, went back into Ven, but didn't actually fade completely and still retained some level of, sentience and segregation like Roxas did. And has been there the whole time, which means when Sora went, like, if you follow that, like saying at the end of BBS, Vanitas and Ven kind of go back together a little bit, that does put Vanitas, because I always assumed Vanitas was part of the Heart Party via Ven, but it seemed a little debunked because, again, Monstropolis, I thought, implied that he stayed separate via the Vanitas remnant. But it looks like both of those were separate. That was the point. The majority of Vanitas retained sentience inside Ven's heart, but was very deep down and was there as a part of Ven in Sora ever since the point that Ven dipped out to take up residence in Sora's heart when he was a child. Which means he would have been there in Sora's heart to be the White Text voice. That was not the most eloquent explanation, and I apologize for that.
Why is it like this?
The softbox is causing the chocolate to melt all over my hand.
Oh,
So I should probably stop eating chocolate, but...
I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going.
What did they say?
I don't know.
Chat, what did they say? Are you supposed to go to Oogie Boogie shit?
I don't know how to get there.
You have to hit a thing that makes that stretch. I think? Or is that only in one?
I don't
Because
know.
you can, no, because you can get there in two. You can get to the place in two. There's nowhere that makes it go blue blue blue. That was a weird.
Am I supposed to still be in Christmas Town? But there's not a lot of space in Christmas Town. Like, this world is weird.
Yeah.
I'm really lost. Because I thought that I had to go check on Professor What's-His-Name.
Could you not get to his house? It's not
No,
open.
it's not open. It said it won't open. I wonder if he's working on something.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, so I'm just
Check
really
the journal,
lost.
Adonis says.
Well, I would love to if it would stop
Raining
giving
Heartless.
me Heartless every 30 seconds. Alright, I guess I just went the complete opposite direction. These things happen. Whatever. You were talking about Vanitas.
I was oh no, I mean I said my piece about Vanitas for the most part. I have suspicions. Oh, there's a question mark. Oh, we have to do that mini game. You go in that room right there at the top.
Yeah, but there's stickers.
Oh my god.
There's stickers. No, let me up. No, let me up. Oh, that's rude. Come on. Stupid nut squares. No, I'm gonna get that sticker. No, come on. That's nonsense. Fine. Only because I already wasted so much time
my
wandering the
God.
wrong direction. I'll move on.
No! This looks good. No!
Boring. This one?
No! No way! Ow!
So you three took them.
Took what?
You stole the presents, didn't you?
Absolutely.
It
I
wasn't
want to
us.
stick my face in the collar of
But
Sora's
it really
Santa
sounds like
jacket.
fun.
It looks really
Run
soft.
for it!
Oh, that's not how that works.
No!
Continuous.
No!
Oh, do I have to punch him in the face
I
first?
think yeah, they'll break out if you don't if they have too much HP. But like it's a lot of weird timing bullshit and I hate it. I remember being really bad at this fight.
Where's the other one?
Can you not do that, phone?
was about to tell whichever one this one is to stop being Larxene, but then I realized that it was Jack being Larxene. Alright, who wants to heal me?
You, apparently.
Of course, I gotta do everything myself around here.
So Adonis says, long short, Vanitas was telling Sora he'll open the door to light, and his heart is the greatest weapon with full intent of using him later or knowing Sora would be used. Yeah, there's a lot about Vanitas to process. Is a big fucking mood. But yeah, no, that's what I'm imagining going on.
Ooh, new item slot. Where'd you put the presents? We told you we don't have them. Then why are you in here? We're looking for parts for the experiment. Experiment? Dr. Finkelstein's making us a friend. One we get to boss around. It's true the doctor's been hard at work making something lately. Besides, Christmas presents are boring. Not scary or gross, so what good are they? Yeah. There's nothing fun here. Let's go back to Halloween Town.
That was some walking
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle,
animation.
wiggle, wiggle, yeah. So, were those pranksters responsible for taking the gifts? It doesn't look like it. Then that means... Sally! Oh, thank goodness, you're all here. Is something wrong? The Heartless are back in the town square, which you know because you were just there fighting them like 3 minutes ago. I thought you should know. What's our cue? Back to Halloween Town.
Donald says as a talking snowman.
I was just thinking that. But wait, there's more. What about finding the gift napper? Actually, the size of this text box means there's gonna be a lot of text after it. The Heartless were playing with some presents when I saw them. Aha, we have our culprits.
Also, here's something fun for everyone to think about. If Vanitas is basically, or at some point becomes the, inheritor of the KHUX Ven's memories, that bird at the end of BBS where Ven is like, at least I have friends, just became a lot more ouch oof. Cause it's like, it's always about your friends, at least I have some. Vanitas reading a book titled All of My Friends Are Dead.
Why are you like this?
Because it's my job to inflict suffering into the masses. Also, I had another... I'm sorry, the wig is causing suffering. Oh, it's not the wig. What else was I gonna say? I had another shit post about your boy. Oh, I was going to put... Hey! What up, Buzz Nugget? We missed you too.
We have indeed.
Sally was right.
Oh! No, I was going to left turn out of Vanitas. Well, not really. I just was going to start talking about the recent KHUX update. For those of you who haven't seen the big, mystery answer-ish, but not real. I feel bad because I sent Sojourn on a quest to get all these screenshots for the panel to dissect who had and hadn't been at some point on screen confirmed to have directly gotten, like, from Ava the job as second-gen foreteller, and then apparently Lorium and Ephemera had the same idea. And the most recent drop was just them being like, alright, we gotta figure out who the fuck, like, what the fuck is up with all this shit. And Brayden was like, I have a note with the answers to these questions, and, anyway, long story short, Ventus, in fact, is a lie.
What a shame.
And is super
It looks
sus.
like such a nice present.
Yes, Ventus, your cake.
I'm cake.
God. Aaron, no.
Now I want cake. Can we make cake?
We didn't make cake on chocolate cake day, so maybe we should make cake.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was big. Scold is also super sus. Scold is really fucking sketchy, especially since there's a big chance that she's Subject X. So, some people have taken that cutscene as sort of like the way it went as like, yes, Ven is the imposter, but the way it was designed to point out that like Scold was also sus makes it more likely that he didn't actually do anything. I had a really long talk with Sojourn about Scold, and they had some good points about Scold potentially being the murderer, so that's a thing. I'm gonna ride the Scold train until it stops. And I don't blame you, because Scold is super fucking sketchy. I can talk today, guys. Well, again, I've said it many times, I'll say it again. Her name is after a Norn, which is like the Norse version of the Fates, which is something that more people know. It's sketchy. Her star jewelry motif, also she has the star earrings and a little star chain. A very similar necklace is on Yuzora's girlfriend, which was pointed out to me by Adonis for something totally unrelated to Scold, but I noticed that the jewelry looked similar when I went to look it up, and they don't look enough the same to be the same person, I don't think, but I have a sinking suspicion that Yuzora's girlfriend, from the trailer in Toy Box, for those who don't recall, might be Erd or Verdandi, which are the other two of the three Norns. Not nuns. They're not nuns. They're the opposite of nuns. They're heathens. They're heathen gods. So,
And put some heart in it. Yeah, that's what the thing would like. Hold on a second.
oh my god.
This is driving me
I'm sorry,
actually insane.
your cloak is like the worst length for sitting on.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if I didn't have things in my back pocket.
Oh, I see.
I have really bad circulation issues. For those who are unaware.
But, yeah, no, that's...
Here I go again, going the wrong direction.
Because like I said, the rest of the DLC, don't get me wrong, was super fun, and there were some interesting nuggets, like I said, with the Daybreak Town and Scala stuff. But honestly, I think out of all of it, the Vanitas stuff, and of course the stuff at the end in the secret episode, which I'm not going to go into as much detail about, because, like, at this point, because the main episode is, you know, pretty straightforward, fast to go through and easy, I'm considering that free game, but I understand if people haven't gotten to the secret episode. Technically, I haven't, as I mentioned. And also, we all expected the stuff in the secret episode to be, like, the big plot nuggets. I'm really bad at this. You might be able to rapid fire, I'm not sure. But, what was I saying? Oh, most of the DLC, like I said, was, the ending with footnotes to help explain, make things a little bit more clear-cut for people, which I really appreciated. Even if it does technically take my job away a little bit. But that's why, like I said, there's not too horribly much to talk about the DLC specifically. Most of it is more KHUX oriented stuff.
That was the weirdest minigame.
Not quite.
There's more?
Don't worry, I'll take care of the rest.
Actually, Adonis
finish
points
making
out,
the presents?
if Yuzora's girl is
Yep,
Anorn and we
just
have
waiting
Skuld
for
who's
Jack.
Anorn, is there a third girl
where do
in the
you think we
multiverse who's,
are leaving?
or a third reality where there's Anorn?
Oh, I know a good spot.
Uh,
Whenever you're ready, just say the word.
I'm back.
Yes, actually, I think so, because that ties into, so in the part of the Remind DLC where you're going through the expanded parts of explorable Scala ad Kylum and you're getting pieces of Kyrie, there's that machine with this sort of star map type thing, that you have to, like, do this little, like, thing where you line up these spinning parts on it, to get this, like, very, like, old theme park style, shadow, like, little, like, like, it reminds me of the little, like, wind-up thing at the beginning of Shrek. Thing. Well, at the middle of Shrek, I guess, but regardless, that goes through, and it starts off, with this big wall of text and some images next to it, which I'll talk about in a minute, but, like, the first thing you line up, it shows you Daybreak Town. Then, day and town snap off, and it's just a break. And it shows just the tower on this mound that looks, and, like, the sky, too, it looks a lot like it's meant to be the Keyblade Graveyard. Even though we don't see that tower anywhere in the graveyard, I've been suspicious since the original Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers about the fact that, like, you look in the rocks, those, like, the maze that the Norts pull up have this, like, architecture frozen in it. Like, it's solidified housing, or, like, you know, like like, there's, like, windows etched into it, like it was a house wall turned into stone. And it is similar architecture to what you see in Daybreak Down in Scala. And then the third one is, of course, it shows Scala at Kylum. Well, the first image, when I looked at it closely, because what happened? This was great. I was just awake at 3 o'clock in the morning and wanted to be asleep and couldn't be, so I loaded up photo mode and wound up just, like, staring at it because I was too tired to actually pose the characters. So I was literally just staring at my TV screen going, I should be asleep right now. And I stared at it long enough to notice the little images next to the wall of text on, like, the start screen for that sequence shows the, like, you have the star map, there are 3 shapes, and these things going like this that you line up on those 3 shapes. So those 3 shapes are in a vertical stack inside this little jar. It's very similar imagery to what I've seen in other media that uses different layers of dimensional reality to show different dimensional planes. And it made me— oh, hello, Key! Sorry, there's a cat, he screams. It made me assume that each of those was on a different plane of existence. So you have Daybreak Town, then where the Keyblade Graveyard is, which would be where the main games happen, and then wherever Scala ad Kylum is.
Oh, why?
I'm sorry.
Fix it.
Oh, I have to do the counter.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going.
That's the boss, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's just a random Heartless.
Oh. I mean, that happens. It's critical mode.
I don't know where the final boss is. This world has been incredibly unclear. Like, maybe I'm just not processing.
Check the journal?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh.
But there's Heartless everywhere.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay,
Three
so
realities,
where
heart
do
key,
these-
mind over matters for central this final world being the connection point. Yeah.
Old Town Square, I went there.
Maybe you can talk to Dr.
I
What's his
talked
face
to
now?
everyone.
Oh.
We're supposed to use the traps to set up. Everyone, should be in here. Because we made a bunch of decoy presents, and then the plot stopped progressing. Because I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I assumed it was here, but then nothing happened.
Is it Christmas Towns?
But I had to walk through that to get here.
I don't know.
Oh, no, but anyway, you were talking about it.
He says talk to Santa. If you open the journal on the main page for the world, there is the next objective line. I've lost my train of thought slightly. I mean, I was just rambling about the different layers of reality. But Adonis, no, you make a really good point in that there being three being hammered home by the idea of the three Norns.
There's always trios in this game.
Yeah. Well, it also, actually, speaking of there being trios, the three discs, one was water, one was wind, and one was earth. Because, you know, the Riku, Sora, Kairi, Terra, Aqua, Ven thing. What?
Vex and Ailey's Zolden.
Oh my god.
Lexius is the proper name for that trio, but point being.
The old men in Radiant Garden trio.
I hate when
Plaza should work well for your plan.
it's not clear that you have to talk to an
Now,
NPC.
Jack, what is your plan?
I've got it all figured out.
You do.
Of course. And I also have a
What
wonderful
anyway?
idea.
But
If
anyway,
we catch the thief for you, I would be honored
well,
to
because the
deliver
three Norns also generally
And on that note, we'll be going.
What are you doing?
line
Jack, no.
line up with future, past, and present as well. Although Scold is the one for the future, so I have some questions about that.
Well,
I think I could be remembering wrong.
if Scold's the one for the future, it makes sense because that's where they're pulling the medals from.
Yeah, because I think Scold is future, Erd is past, and Verdandi is. I know Verdandi is present. But I might have Scold and Erd mixed up. I didn't make this. I have a phone. I can double check right now. Scold is like the most notable of the Norns because that name, there's like getting into Norse mythology scholarly shit, that I know because of reasons, but,
This thing has two heads.
yes, it's upsetting. One of its heads is its frog.
Well, I guess the argument can be made that.
My god, Ventus!
I mean, I guess we know it's male now.
Ventus!
Yeah.
But the name Scold is also used for
Don't
name
be a
of
Beyblade.
Valkyrie, and there is some debate over whether or not that's the same Scold or not, but like it's a thing. The Valkyrie connection was definitely pointed and intentional with her role in the original Key. This line was not translated the way it was, like, because Disney, I'm assuming, in the K2X rehashing of the Keyblade War, where when your character dies, they look up and say a goddess and Scold walks in. I don't think that part was I don't know if that whole scene was incorrectly preserved or just the line was mistranslated. I'm trying to remember which it was, but yeah.
There have been some interesting translation things.
Yeah.
and choices like that.
I noticed that it seems like an entire line was cut from the lost page in the English version. Because I thought that there were 2 lines of text at both times, not 2 in 1.
I don't remember.
Because the entire bit about the one who bears the sigil wasn't in the official translation for the lost page in the Cage
Was
Witch.
that
In the original key.
that was an original key? Okay. I wasn't sure if that was in back cover.
No.
Okay.
Did you catch the thief?
Now I'm second guessing though.
Not
I could be wrong. Maybe that's where that's
I
from.
just can't figure out why the doctor's
We gotta.
I gotta
we
go
gotta
double check
that
now.
out.
Christmas
Yeah, I
presents.
feel bad.
His
I
experiment.
don't have my shit as together as I used to, guys. I'm sorry.
It was a moving puppet made by Dr.
I mean,
Finkelstein.
stuff's been a hot mess. I think
The
you're good on
doctor's
that.
made a moving puppet.
Wait.
I see. He is always tinkering with things.
Wait.
Now listen, Jack.
What
I'd
is
like
this
to
for?
thank you, and while delivering
I know this
presents
is
is
a
something
headphone
only
jack.
I
What's
can
that?
do, I can give you
for
a
It says
additional
idea.
peripherals.
EXT.
Sandy Claus.
Keyboard, stuff like that. It's
I
an
just-
expansion
Yes,
slot so
all
that they
that
could
poor
make
puppet
extra
wanted
shit to
was a
go into
heart.
it.
I just want to start, like, chain plugging things in.
Don't know.
Like,
Ho, ho, ho!
Oh my god, Ben.
I just want to see how long I can make it.
Um,
You know?
Interesting. So the puppet
Don't-
wasn't stolen
don't
after
call it
all.
that.
It ran away on its own. In other words, my experiment was an overwhelming success.
Santa
don't-
Claus
I don't
maybe
like
it left
this.
Okay,
because
I
it was
cannot
trying to
quickly
find
look
a
up
heart.
this information because it's some obscure shit
That's
because
quite possible. Unlike
in
my Sally,
Old Norse
it
pagan
wasn't
things.
equipped with a
But
heart.
I do have that
But if it
Erd is
wanted
the
a
one that
heart,
is. I mean, I
why
knew
was
Erd
it
was the
going
one most
around
closely
stealing all those
associated with
Christmas
fate because of
presents?
things and
Maybe because
Odin and
presents
stuff.
are a way
But,
to give your
um,
heart to someone
anyway.
special.
the Norns are sketchy and like.
so go
from
give
the-
Riku presents.
Go give Riku presents.
When you put it that way, I
From
feel
the
sort of
beginning, I
bad for
assumed
it.
we'd see the other 2 Norns eventually because the more like the Square doesn't just make mythology references like that and be like, no. They don't have correct mythology a lot of the time. I'm aware of that. That's not what I mean. It seems so poignant and intentional
What
that
a nice
the
present.
opportunity to have a trio,
understand.
why would they not take
There's
it?
no box. No ribbon tied in a bow.
Jack, it's not about the box or the ribbons. It's about what's inside the box.
More
No,
boxes.
Sora. What really counts, what's really special, is the act of giving the gift. To wish deep in your heart to make someone else happy.
Right. Of course. Thank you, Sally. You're absolutely right. Wait. What's this?
Oh.
I feel so strange. So
I'm really
very
concerned about
happy.
Goofy's ears now, also.
Jack, that
Don't
must be
worry
Sally's
about it.
present.
Really? This wonderful feeling?
Why are we
Oh,
concerned
Sally.
about
His
Goofy's
ears
ears?
just
You've
turned
given me
into
the
antlers
nicest
instead of
present
getting
in the
antlers
world.
in addition to
And I've
his
nothing
ears.
to give you in
He has
return.
ears.
What would
We're in
you like?
just
Halloween
saw
Town.
them.
We're in
Just
Halloween
name
Town in his Christmas
Absolutely
Town outfit.
anything.
The nicest present I could
That
ever
is
ask
concerning.
for, Jack, is just to be with you.
I'd say that's gay, but it's kind of hetero.
You don't
Yeah,
even
me
have to
too.
ask for that.
Oh,
Or I don't know how Sally identifies. I don't know how Jack identifies.
I never gave her a real present after all.
What is
Oh,
the
I bet
sexual
Kyrie would like most
identification
anything
of
you
a
gave her.
skeleton?
I know. That's what made it so hard to decide.
Questions I didn't think I would be asking today, but here we are.
How?
Well, as long as she can be with you, what else does she need?
But yeah. So anyway, it's a lot of dancing in this game. Sora, that's hetero.
It really is. also I'm angry because I've tried very hard to recreate that in data greeting and I can't! Because Kyrie doesn't have any good poses! I've spent a lot of time in data greeting, guys, I'm sorry. Alright, I think on that note, we'll save, oh.
Oh. Whoa, hi there.
That big thing!
The good stuff.
Maybe that's the source of the weird reading we picked up before.
Oh, that's my jam.
And there's something funny about Twilight Town. I'm seeing 2 of them.
Look, it's another huge energy reading, and it's coming from someplace near the town.
I don't know what's going on, fellas, but it sure looks like there's some big
Always
trouble
is.
brewing around Twilight
Hence
Town.
lives there.
Oh my god.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
But on that note,
But on that note, we'll be calling it for the day.
technically finished 2 worlds.
Technically finished 2 worlds. Next time we'll be heading into some
land-
Twilight, the land, Pride Land.
Where are we going?
Where
Hold
are
on.
we going? Are we
Let's-
going
let's-
to go to Pride
let's
Land,
look
or
at
let's look at
some-
things?
Well,
You can't find out until we
not
go
at
through
all.
Gummy Ship Hell.
Wandering around, there's nothing actually new with Hello, Bastion. Ooh.
Oh, you have to go through a
Alright.
thing either way. Well, I guess tune in next time for Gummy Ship Hell, and Assorted Twilight Town and Pride Land. Oh god. Oh god. Assorted Twilight Town Pride Lands content. I'm upset. And on that note, save your tears because hopefully Ventus will still be alive next episode.